That's so funny. So I'm continuing my interviews with local Waconia businesses, and Nikki, so glad you came. And
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I love it that you're here. You know, we met during the band, right?
We did. Yep, marching band.
Marching band. Yes, that was a lot of fun.
Always is. Still engrossed in it, so that's good.
That is great. Well, tell me about your new business.
Sure. The name of my business is New and Well, and it's a health and lifestyle coaching business. So what I do is I kind of meet people where they're at. Through conversation, we determine where it is that they're looking to go with their health and their lifestyle. Maybe there's a goal, specific weight loss that they want to do, or they just want to eliminate stress. They want to have more time for leisure. And through the art of conversation, I help them figure out ways to do that.
So it's like a full balance system, which we all know that's what life is.
It is. It is. My approach is that a good, healthy life is also including having positive relationships. So whether that's with your family or with your friends, that you have work that you do that you enjoy, that's meaningful to you, and that there's some sort of spirituality in your life. And that doesn't necessarily mean religion. It just means that at the end of the day, you realize that there is more out there than just you and your little tiny world, and that you're doing something to make the world a better place for other people. So food, movement, work, relationships, and spirit are the 5 parts that, in my mind, I think need to have balance in order to be completely healthy.
Oh, and you're so right. They really do. I'm taking a yoga class, and just it always touches on all those things that need to stay into balance, and how we should not just worry about so much ourselves, but others.
Right,
So
right.
important.
Well, and you know, you can probably attest to the fact then too that when you leave there, you feel totally different than you do when you're prepping for a showing, or you know, it's just a different mindset. And so it's not a better mindset or a worse mindset. It's just different, and it's because you're addressing a different part of your life than you are when you're working or when you're exercising. And it is important to just make sure that we're taking care of all of those parts of us.
So if I were to use your services, I would come and you would have a full consultation and
Absolutely.
testing?
Yep, absolutely. What I first do with my clients is we meet and we just have a good hour-long talk. And I just kind of get their whole health history, basically. So where are you now and how did you get here? And that kind of includes everything from not only what's your personal life, like are you married, do you have children, but tell me about your parents. Where did you grow up? What was your childhood like? What kind of food did you eat? Were you sick a lot? Were you immunized? Do you know if you were breastfed? All of those things can play a part in the health that you have now. Where were you raised? Did you grow up here in Minnesota or did you live in California? Yeah, all of those things. So that's the first meeting. And then from there, if the client feels like there's something that I can help them with, the sessions are usually 6 months long. And the reason for that is because it does take time to create meaningful change in your life. I have met with a couple clients 2 or 3 times just to kind of get them going, but inevitably they always come back and say, I need a little bit more. So my full sessions are 6 months long, but we meet every other week. So each week we'll talk about whatever topic it is that's weighing on your heart for that particular time, and then I'll give you 1 or 2 little suggestions. And the whole thing is that I'm not your teacher per se, I'm more of your coach. And the difference between a coach and a trainer, a coach is there to pull the best of you out of you. And my belief is that most of us kind of already know what we're not doing right or where we should be paying more attention.
Right.
And for me, it's to kind of have that conversation and pull that out of you. It's real easy for me to sit here and say, do this, don't do that, don't do that, but that might not pertain to your particular life where you're at right now. So coaching is really more of what it is. It's conversation-based, completely conversation-based.
Kind of a self-realization, helping
Very
you
much so.
to realize it. Now, do you pick, because like with some people, maybe myself included, maybe lacking in a few areas.
Sure.
Do you pretty much hone in on one thing?
No, one of the first things I do is I give the clients what's called, according to the school that I went to, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, they call it the circle of life. And it's basically a circle, it's a pie, and it's broken up into multiple different segments. And it's everything from work, entertainment, cooking, all these various lifestyle, key points within your life that you might need to pay attention to or that are just meaningful to you. And what you do is you put a little dot on this circle of life, and the middle of the circle shows that you are needing a lot of work on that. And if something's out further, it means that things are really in balance. So once you do that in all of these little quadrants and then you connect the dots, the idea is to have a nice perfect circle that's big and wide. But that never happens for everybody. What happens is you get these zigzaggy, like, oh, I'm really good in cooking right now because I've got fresh vegetables in my garden and I'm enjoying it. But oh my goodness, I haven't been to church in a long, long time, so my spirituality is like super low. Or work is really great and I just got a promotion, so that might be really high, but then your friends might be really low because you've been so busy with work you haven't been able to socialize. So you have these different areas that you've shown to me that you're lacking in, or that you're just not paying enough attention to. So that right there kind of is our guide. And then what happens is at the end of 4 or 5 months, we do that again, and they inevitably change. Because once you start paying attention to something, you either balance everything else out, or then you stop paying attention to other things. So, so that's really my first guide. But I will say that another way that I get clients too is through primary caregivers. So doctors.
Oh, excellent. So you're a qualified life coach then?
Yeah, it's certified.
Certified.
So what that means is that, let me just to speak to that for a second too. A lot of doctors are realizing that they don't have the time to be able to have a lot of the conversation that people are really wanting to have or needing to have when they're struggling with illnesses.
Yeah, that's so true. You go to the doctor and you're in and out, and it's like they don't know anything, as you know.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, a lot of doctors haven't been taught a lot about nutrition in their medical education. You know, they're taught black and white as far as doctoring goes, but they're not taught a lot about how food relates to that, or how your sleep relates to that, or how specific types of stress can relate to that. I'm not discrediting doctors whatsoever at all, but I do work with 2 of them very closely that utilize me as a sounding board to help their clients kind of have a better conversation. The other thing too is that it's sometimes for a lot of people easier to have a conversation with somebody who's just dressed in regular street clothes than it is to have a conversation with somebody in a white lab coat.
Exactly.
A little less intimidating.
Most definitely. So doctors really see your value.
They do, they do. And health coaching is actually starting to be considered more of a preventative care type of service, like acupuncture and chiropractic care. So there is actually legislation in Congress right now working to try to get us to be subsidized by insurance companies so that our clients can actually have this paid for through their insurance, and we can continue to have these conversations that draw things out of them that they can then go back to their primary caregivers and work on.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it comes to that.
I do too. So I think, Marta, what I'm going to speak to real quickly is the different types of services that I can offer besides just the coaching. So besides being a certified health coach, I myself am also a certified personal trainer. So the benefit that I can bring to a client is, besides being able to just have a conversation with them and being able to be a counselor and use my psychology background to help them on a certain level, if exercise and fitness is a portion of the part of their life that they need to be drawing more attention to, I am also a certified personal trainer. So I am capable of helping them create workouts for themselves or for their family, and I think that's really a big important part of it too.
You know, accountability when you have that for training is so great, and to have a program that works and someone that knows you.
It is.
Wonderful.
And one of the other questions that people always ask me is, are you working just with women, or is there a particular, demographic that you're working with? And I actually have a couple clients in virtually all demographics right now. I have 2 teenage girls that I'm working with. One is 15 and one is 16, and that's really fun because I have a daughter that's the same age. And then I have a single woman who is all by herself. She has no children and no spouse, and she's in her 60s, and that's fun too. I have several clients that are married, and then I have 2 couples that I'm working with, and that's really enjoyable because I think a lot of times, especially the women that I work with, want to make food changes within their household, but they feel that they're going to get resistance from their children, or they're going to get resistance from their spouse, and even it could be the husband who's going to get resistance from their wife. But when I'm working together with a team, a couple, it's sometimes a lot better because they can both understand what I'm offering and what I'm suggesting, instead of one of them misinterpreting it and then going back and doing that telephone thing and misconstruing the information. So yeah, so as far as my clientele, it's sort of across the board.
Great.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I think couples, when you're, especially when it comes to nutrition, that way you can get laid all out and you can find something that works for
That,
everyone.
and I really am enjoying working with the younger kids too, because they're the ones right now that it really needs to start with, and we need to get them away from their energy drinks and away from their energy bars and just eating real food, you know, just less processed and just slowing down in life a little bit more and disconnecting.
If you could give us 4 tips
Sure.
to make our life better, what do you think we should focus on or look at?
First, I would say it almost always starts with food. So just look at your food, eat less processed food and more real food. And that can go from everything from a can of soup to making your own, you know, eating out less. So food is first, just move more. So whatever you're moving right now, just add a little bit more to that. Spend time with people that really mean a lot to you. So whether that's friends or family. I read something recently that said that there's friends and there's family, and then there's friends that become family. And I think we all have people like that in our life, and we just need to spend more time with that. And then fourth, I honestly believe that we all just need to slow down and disconnect from our machinery. We're connected to our phones too much, we're connected to our computers too much, and we aren't spending enough time, one, with other people, and two, with ourselves, to even know who we are anymore or what it is that we really need as a person. And so food, movement, spend time with others, and then don't be afraid to spend time by yourself. I think those are probably the top 4. Some minor little changes can have massive improvement in your life. So
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
thank
Great.
you. Thanks, Marta. I appreciate it.